And
I know
over
that about
time,
Jeremy
that
Clarkson.
wealth was gradually lost.
Listen, if you guys are
Now-
still here at this point in the video, I know he kind of ruined the premise of the video, but what is going on, guys? It's JJ here, back with a new video, and today, this is going to be a fun one. I think this is going to be a really, really fun one because we have obviously been taking a look at Top Gear over these past couple of weeks. I should rephrase. We've been taking a look at the UK version of Top Gear. It's been miraculous. They do some of the dumbest stunts. They do some of the most ridiculous challenges, and it's one of the most entertaining shows I've ever been able to witness. I am not a huge car fan and thoroughly enjoy it. But apparently, and I'm happy I found this comment underneath one of the videos, which by the way, you guys, whether it's been your comments, whether it's been the likes you guys have been giving the video, the support you've given on the channel, I'm so immensely grateful. It has been so much fun to talk to you guys, to get to see these videos, to get to see your guys' favorite videos for the first time, to actually go out and watch. But someone told me that there is an American version. There is an American version of Top Gear. And so my first thought was I needed to know the difference. I have to know the difference. So we're gonna take a look at this video, British Top Gear versus American Top Gear. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the two down in the comments below. And let's get into the video. I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to see this. Let's do it. As well, guys, you can obviously find the original video down in the description below. Ooh, loud. This is like the beginning of like a Matthew McConaughey movie.
Greetings,
Oh,
viewers.
goodness.
Eric the Car Guy back again as ETCG1 on this here channel. So for today's video, I thought I would do something outside of just the seriousness of talking about being a technician and workplace
I did not
dynamics.
realize this is what
the
this was.
future of technology and automobiles and all that fun, happy kind of stuff.
Fun, happy?
To talk about something a little more lighthearted, and that is Top Gear. Now I know in the title I put it as American Top Gear versus British Top Gear or vice versa, but that's not really the point. That was mostly to get your attention. I'm well aware that Top Gear is a franchise that's worldwide, and in several different countries they have their...
Sir, you better get to the point. You better get to the point. Or we're coming after you.
own versions. I know for a fact that there's an Australian Top Gear, there's a German Top Gear, a Korean Top Gear, based on that video about the helicopter crash not too long ago that you might have caught. But there's no denying that the godfathers of all this are the UK version of Top Gear. So we have Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond, who have been doing the show now for, I think, since like 2003 or 4. I know somebody's going to correct me down in the comments. But originally it started out, I think it was Jeremy Clarkson and James May, and I think that Richard Hammond came in a little bit later than that. I remember I started watching the show sometime back around 2007. Maybe even a little bit sooner than that. Maybe it was late 2006, somewhere around there. And a coworker turned me on to it. He said,
it's been 15 years.
You gotta check this program out.
That's amazing.
It's great. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. Because up until that point, automotive programs, for the most part, weren't really there for entertainment value. I'm not saying they weren't entertaining, but for car geeks like me and perhaps like you would sit on a Saturday afternoon and watch. I used to watch, what was it, Motor Magazine or Motor something, and all it was just a general review of different vehicles, both new and sometimes old, and it was just, you know, a standard cookie cutter kind of, here's the vehicle, here's its features, and that's that. But when Top Gear came along, they added a whole different element, a whole different entertainment value to it.
To be entertained,
and
that is
I
it.
think, I'm not exactly 100% certain, but I think that has a lot to do with Jeremy Clarkson. I actually read his biography not too long ago, and it didn't talk too much about his time at Top Gear, but it talked a lot about his time leading up to it. And Jeremy's a pretty interesting guy. He's got a lot under his belt. Really an advocate of the military.
Really?
And also, interestingly enough, his mother was the one who popularized Paddington Bears, which I found to be an interesting thing, and he makes reference to Paddington Bears throughout Top Gear sometimes. In addition to that, I believe his family owned the copyrights or the plans or something like that to those mason jars. for some time. So his family
So he
had
was well off.
a great deal of wealth
Yeah,
at
so
some
he's
point,
well off. Gee, I
and
did
then
not know
over
that about
time
Jeremy
that
Clarkson.
wealth was gradually lost.
Listen, if you guys
and
are
now-
still here at this point in the video, I know he kind of ruined the premise of the video, but weird but cool info to know, I guess.
Jeremy's back, and Jeremy's doing pretty well, and good for him. Good for him. I mean, he's just as he was described, a bloke's bloke. But at least for me, he seems to be sort of the driving force behind what Top Gear is and what it's become. Just because I don't know if he was able to talk to BBC into doing some of those crazy things or what. But then you add James May and Richard Hammond, who have different personalities, into the mix, and you get this trifecta of just a really entertaining group of guys that just do whatever. I think it was about 3 years ago that American Top Gear started up. I think they're in their third or fourth season now. And they are Tanner Faust, Adam Ferreira, and Rutledge Wood,
I did not realize.
who I've really come to like. And one of the
You
things I
like?
noticed, at least with the American version of Top Gear, and this goes back to that formulaic concept that Top Gear seems to have become, of we're going to make a Top Gear for every country, every audience. And you really can't blame them for this, because there is, let's face it, Top Gear is I think one of the most popular television programs in the world.
It's
Top
becoming
Gear
popular for me.
UK,
I'm
talking about.
enjoying it.
So it makes sense that they would try to spread the franchise around and do something called localization, where they have something that might cater to your language and also to your taste. And one of the things that I noticed about the American Top Gears during the first season is it was just a cookie cutter carbon copy of the British version. In fact, they were doing the same stunts, they were doing pretty much the same thing.
So America
star in a
copied the
reasonably
UK.
priced car, which honestly didn't go over well, and I think
So
a lot
America copied the UK is what you're telling me. How am I supposed to talk smack if all we do is copy? That's pain. That's pain. I'll listen.
that had to do with their commentary of the people driving around the track. It didn't have the same bite to it that like say Jeremy Clarkson has when he does it. And Jeremy Clarkson actually has a bit of experience. I believe he had a talk show for a while to where he was sitting down with different stars, different people of importance, and doing interviews with them. He's no stranger to that. But I think as far as when they look at the program, what they do is they look at that segment of star in a reasonably priced car more to get the female audience engaged. And it's not really one of the most popular parts of Top Gear, because we want to see things explode, crash.
We
want
want
to
to
see
see
three guys
the
goof
stunts.
off a lot of times. But I guess they have to fill the empty space with something. But getting back to the way the American version started out, it started out, at least in my eyes, as something of a carbon copy of the British version.
What is it now?
And that really personally turned me off. It just seemed like they were trying to sell me something in a different package. And I wasn't interested. I really wasn't interested. But since then, I think the American version has really grown into its own. They've taken away that star in the reasonably priced car thing, which, I don't really miss. And they've taken away actually a lot of the studio audience aspect of it. So that whole thing where they're hanging out in the airplane hangar and there's a bunch of people standing around, that atmosphere is gone. So I'm sure they've done study after study to try to fine tune it to make it work for the American audience. And I say
Is
it
this
has,
just a
but it's not so
review of
much the
American
fine
Top
tuning
Gear,
and the fact
essentially?
that they cut out things that weren't really working, but it was also the dynamic between the three hosts, which I've really come to enjoy. In fact, my whole family.
I'm a little angry. I knew I shouldn't. Listen, this is why you vet your videos maybe sometimes before you watch them. Because that was brutal. I need a real comparison, guys. This is gonna turn into a video purely for you guys, for the comments, because I am gonna make a promise right now. I'm going to respond to every single comment on this video that is about the difference between British Top Gear and American Top Gear. Let me know if you're a fan of American Top Gear, what are your favorite skits? What are your favorite moments? I want to know the comparisons between the two, because maybe I want to take a look at it, like, as we get sort of into the Top Gear sort of realm in the first place. I don't mind looking at the other versions. The only one I've been sort of brought onto is the British version, so let me know what the difference between the two is actually, instead of just saying you like the both of them. Which, I mean, maybe he will get to in these last 3 minutes, but the fact that it's taken 7 minutes to sort of reach this part of the conversation, we're gonna move on. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the British versus American Top Gear. I agree wholly with what he says about Jeremy Clarkson sort of being the driving force, but the thing is, he needs people to feed off of. He needs people to feed off the sort of buffoonish energy that he gives, and Richard Hammond and James May do that amazingly. We did a James May versus Jeremy Clarkson video the other day, and I was crying laughing. It was so much fun, which you should go take a look at that if you haven't. I don't think I've laughed at a Top Gear video that hard. The James May versus Jeremy Clarkson, because Jeremy Clarkson is just a big man child. Me. And he makes for so much entertainment. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I'm on them. I promise you, I'm on them. Leave your comments down below. Peace.